بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وآله. Dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And welcome to this show, The Winning Goal. This show, inshallah, is a interactive show. So inshallah we will be talking about some important issues which are important for the youth and other than the youth. And inshallah, at the same time, there's an opportunity for anyone to phone in and to give their opinion, inshallah, or to ask any questions. The number there is in front of you at the bottom of the screen. Just dial in and inshallah, we can receive your calls or take your questions or you have any comments. So this show really is about the winning goal. It's about winning. It's about having a goal. And as we are in this life as Muslims, we have to understand that, we see around us, everybody there is working hard to achieve things, and everybody is sort of set on winning. Here in London this year we had the Olympics, and everybody was really sort of racing and going for competing for gold, trying to win. You just have to open a television and you watch the football, and you see people, the competitors, the teams are competing, the fans are competing. There's all there's competition in sport, there's competition in trying to achieve the best, there's competition at school, at universities, there's competition on different levels. It's all about people wanting to win, and there's nothing wrong with winning, because that's sort of nature instinct that the human has, wanting to win, wanting to succeed, wanting to be at the top, wanting to be the first, wanting to achieve gold. So this is what we are talking about. What the other aspect which is important for us is, okay, it's fine to be a competitor. It's fine to want to achieve the goal. It's fine to be winning. But what is the real goal that we should be set out? What should our minds be focused on? What do we really want to achieve in our lives? And this is what we, inshallah, through this series of talks that we'll be having at this sort of time, inshallah, weekly, to discuss this matter, this topic of winning, this topic of really trying to succeed. And when we talk about winning, we have to obviously go back and talk and look at the Quran, look at Islam, see what that says. And for us, Islam is telling us, the Quran is telling us that it's fine to succeed, to win, try to win. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions al-falah. Al-falah. We have in the salah every day, the call to the salah is hayya ala salah, hayya ala al-falah. Come to the salah, come to success, come to winning. So this is the concept of what we are looking at. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about this winning? What does Allah tell us about falah? Well, if you read Surah Al-Shams, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this Surah Al-Shams, which is a short surah but such a beautiful surah, as all as the Quran is beautiful. Allah is saying, وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا. He swears by the sun, He swears by its light, He swears by the moon, He swears by the day, by the night, by the heavens, by the earth, by the self, the nafs that Allah has created. And then He says, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. He has really succeeded, the one who has purified his soul. So that's the real sort of winning goal that we're trying to achieve in this life. Because we want success in this life, we want success in the next life. We know that this life is only short. We know that this life is a life which will come to an end. You can live 70, 80 years, 100 years, 150 years, 200 years, but at the end of the day it will come to an end. And this is something that nobody disputes. Every human, whether they are Muslim or non-Muslim, whether they believe in God or they don't believe in God, they know that one day they will come to an end. So if they know that they will come to an end, that they want to make sure that they actually succeed at the end of this. The end is undoubted. But what happens after this? What happens after this end? Can we really say that we're going to be successful? Are we going to be those people who can be happy that when they die, they know that after death, for them comes the challenge, comes the tests, comes the reality. Were you successful? Were you really a winner? Was all the achievements that you had in this life, were they what really made you on top, or was there something else to life? Is there something bigger? Is there something more achieved? You know, where are you in the eyes of Allah? Where are you in the sight and the measurement of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Where does your akhlaq, your morals, your etiquettes, your behavior, where does that match up? Where are you? And that, I think, is the important question here. So for us, it's قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ تَزَكَّى. He has really won, the one who is able to purify himself, to purify his soul. So inshallah, through this series, we're going to talk about what is the reality of purification. How can we as Muslims attain this purification? Trying to cleanse ourselves so that by doing that, we can be successful. By doing that, we can be better, inshallah ta'ala. First of all, we have to understand that purification is something which isn't something that just comes like that. It really needs effort. It really needs work. It is something that has to have a struggle. And like anything now, a sportsman today doesn't just achieve gold just like that. Doesn't get to the Olympics just like that. Doesn't win Wimbledon or the World Cup or anything like that. There has to be effort. There has to be work. There has to be struggle. There has to be sweat. There has to be studying. There has to be perseverance. All of this is part of the winning. And similarly, if we're looking at winning, if we're looking at achievement, we have to be ready to give that struggle. We have to be ready to sacrifice. So inshallah, with that kind of sacrifice, we can work to purifying the soul. We can work to cleansing. And we just have to go back and look at the prophets before us. You know, the prophets, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the prophets throughout history, starting from Adam right through to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. All of these prophets were there working hard to teach the people what it means to be better. Because that's essentially what it's all about. That's essentially what the purification is how do you become a better person? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us the message of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he sent them. Ibrahim alayhi salam was building the house, him and Ismail, the house in Mecca. And while he was building the house, he was making dua and he was asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, رَبَّنَا وَابْعَثْ فِيهِمْ رَسُولًا مِّنْهُمْ. Send to them, from amongst them, a messenger who will recite unto them the signs. He will teach them the book and the hikmah, the wisdom, and he will give them tazkiyah, purification. Those three things. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says they recite unto, that's his dua, that's what he's asking. He gave preference for reciting the signs or the verses, teaching and knowledge, and then followed by tazkiyah, followed by purification. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said the reality of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam was not just to recite the verses or just to in that order, but rather it was to recite the verses followed by tazkiyah. هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب. So that gives the preference of tazkiyah that the Prophet ﷺ said. So we have a caller, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. We have a caller. Assalamu alaikum. Hello. Assalamu alaikum. The voice is not clear. Can you speak a bit louder? Welcome. You're calling from Somalia. Yes. Sorry, the call is. Okay, we'll come back to that.
Hadlaya question of that the religion of the Muslims.
Okay, sorry. Can you repeat your question or comment?
Okay, you will come back?
Yeah, can you repeat again? But please listen from the phone. Don't listen from the television.
Now I not can hear it for your voice. Declare.
Okay, we had a problem with that call. Inshallah, we'll come back to it if we can. But yeah, we are receiving your calls. If anybody has a comment or a question, the telephone number is there. It's 0203 397 1206. Give us a call, give your comments. But we're talking about winning. We're talking about tazkiyah. We're talking about how you can purify, how to be a better person, competition. Because it's about competition, it's about winning, it's about achieving the goal. But what is the real goal? What is the important goal? So we said that the Prophet ﷺ, Allah sent him to recite the verses onto the people and then to give them tazkiyah, the importance of tazkiyah. وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ, to purify them, to make them the better people, because that's what's important. Knowledge is important, ilm is important, but Allah gives the preference for tazkiyah first. Because if you are purified in yourself, if you have a pure heart, pure mind, pure soul, then that is what will give you the success. That is what will make you winning. That's what will give you the achievement. But if you have knowledge and you don't have tazkiyah, you're not pure, you are in danger. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that there are people who will come, and the Prophet ﷺ tells us about people who will come on the Day of Judgment. They were scholars, they had knowledge, they had ilm, they had studied everything, and then they will come on the Day of Judgment. They will be the first people to be placed in the fire, as the Prophet ﷺ said. He said the first people to be put in the fire, amongst them will be a scholar, a person who has studied knowledge. And so Allah will stand him and He'll say to him, you had the knowledge. What did you know? What did you do with regards to this knowledge? And he will say, oh Allah, I had the knowledge, I studied the knowledge for your sake. I studied the knowledge for you. And so that I would teach the people for your sake. And Allah will say, kadhabt, you have lied. You only spoke, you only had the knowledge because you wanted that people would say, you are alim. And they said you are alim. And you recited the Quran with a beautiful voice. Not because for me, but because you wanted the people to say, that they were qari. So this is the kind of knowledge that when on the Day of Judgment, these people will actually, who studied the knowledge but for the wrong intention. They didn't have the tazkiyah. They didn't have that feeling inside them, so they ended up losing in the Day of Judgment. So that's what we're talking about here. And obviously when we're talking to the youth, we are talking about the people who are, they are growing up. Their lives are ahead of them. These are the young generation, people who have got full of vitality, full of energy. It is the reality today that most sports people are young. Why? Because this is the age where people have the energy, the stamina, the strength. Obviously, as they grow older, they still have that, but it's not as much as the youth. That's why you see the most Olympians or sports people are of the younger age, the youth. So this type of age is the time where you really have to have your mindset clear. You have to be focused. The goal has to be in front of you. You have to be ready. You have to be facing the right direction. You have to be shooting in the ball in the right direction. Because if you're shooting the ball the wrong way, it can very easily turn into a disaster and a loss for the team. So that's what we're talking about. Is the youth, they have, and especially in the West, in England, the UK, and throughout the world, they have to be clear. Have to be clear about what you really want to achieve in this life. And that's why it's important that a person has in front of him an important goal of what he wants to achieve. And that is to be successful in all aspects of the word. Successful, falah, achievement. Because what is the most important success is how you are in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Allah wants you as a Muslim to be successful in this life as well, to construct the land, to be people who give back to this land. And that's why the Muslims throughout the eras, when they understood Islam and they understood their religion, understood their deen, understood who Allah is and what the Messenger was, they were at the front. They were winning in all aspects of the word. They were there who were people who were achieving. They were people who were giving the beacons of light You can look at the the geography. You can look at mathematics. You can look at at medicine. Botany, zoology, astronomy, all these different fields. The Muslims had given something to this, participated to this, and that's why it's very important. I think we always look at it and research. And if you have access to the website, there's a nice web page which actually encourages you to understand what's happening in terms of like the Muslim inventions, like 1001 Muslim inventions. If you have a chance, look it up. It shows you exactly how the Muslims, through the 1,000 years of history, they were giving back, they were learning, they were the top. And in fact, today we still have remnants of that. You have the remnants of names. Like things like chemistry comes from an Arabic word. You have things like algebra. You have even alcohol. Alcohol as a word, as a chemical composition. You have different things. The first maps, the first diagrams of the blood circulation. All these things were there, presented by the Muslims, because the Muslims at that time, they understood that they had to be successful. And as youth, we have a really important message to try and be successful. A lot of us now today, we go to school, but what is your real aim? You have to be ready to give. You have to, if you have a real, ambition, you will be ready to fulfill that. So if your ambition is to achieve and make Allah be happy with you, you will be successful in this life and in the next life. And if you look at an example, look at Abdullah ibn Zubayr. Abdullah ibn Zubayr was a great Sahabi, one of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, one of the younger ones. In fact, he was the first of the Muhajirin to be born in Medina. So he was quite young, and you can imagine that he was 11 years old when the Prophet ﷺ passed away. Abdullah ibn Zubayr, because of his talent and because of his ambitions, he was successful in all aspects. He was successful in the he was so successful in the dunya and the akhirah. We'll come back to Abdullah ibn Zubayr. We have a call, inshallah. Yes, Assalamu alaikum. Okay, sorry, we lost the call there. Never mind. So Abdullah ibn Zubayr, it gives me a chance to tell you more about Abdullah ibn Zubayr. Abdullah ibn Zubayr was a Sahabi who was successful in all aspects of his life. This guy who's focused, ambition. So in the terms of the dunya, he was successful. In the terms of the akhirah, he was successful. He would go into the markets, and he would deal, and he would trade, and he would buy and sell, and he was a successful businessman. But at the same time, when you looked at his ibadah and you looked at his worship, you would see that he used to pray in Mecca at a time when Mecca was being, it was being hit by the Al-Hajjaj. At that time, came to attack Abdullah Zubair, who was in their eyes, he was rebelling against them. And even though there were stones, rocks being thrown into Mecca, and they were landing around him, he was very steady in his salah, tranquil. He had the khushu', he had the concentration. This was a guy who was focused on his ibadah. It's the kind of balance that you have. The guy who knows Allah, worships Allah, and is successful in this life and the next. Because when you have that kind of attitude, you will be successful. You will be successful in all different ways. You'll be successful in this life and the next. You will be someone who gives to others before you take. You will be someone who is ready to really progress forward. So I think that's the kind of message, and it all starts from here. It doesn't start how much money you have in your pocket. It's not about what kind of degree you have. It doesn't matter what kind of parents you have, what kind of car they drive. What matters is your attitude, what you think, how you're thinking, where your heart is. And if that kind of attitude that you have is the attitude that will allow you, insha'Allah, to actually go forward and progress forward, and then you will be successful, insha'Allah, in all different types of things. So my advice here to the youth, obviously, is to, first of all, have a clear direction of what you want to do, where you want to achieve, insha'Allah. We're going to go to a break in a short while, but inshallah, when we come back, we're going to finish off this issue, inshallah ta'ala, and then we'll actually be able to. But before we go to the break, we want to just say that there is a call, inshallah, on the line, and we'll just take that call before we go to the break. Yes, Assalamu alaikum. Yes, what is your question or your comment?
My question is, if you do a good deed, won't that give you won't that give you life afterlife? If you do a good deed, won't that give you
Turn the volume on your television down so that it doesn't. You only listen from the phone. Repeat your question again, but don't turn the television down or go to another room. Hello, what's your question again? Oh, that's that question. Yeah, Jazakumullah khair. If you make a phone call, when you ask a question, just make sure you listen through the telephone and not through the television, because there's a little bit of a delay and you'll get an echo. So, inshallah, as we're saying, it's about the winning and achieving, and as a shabab, as the youth, in this time, we have to be ready to have a clear vision, a clear focus about what we want to achieve. And if you have that clear focus, you have that clear vision, not only would you be excelling in this aspect, but in the next one as well. Okay, we have the call back again. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, sorry, we lost you there. So yeah, what's your question? Hello? The question is gone again. Okay, not to worry. Inshallah, we'll come back to that in a while. But now, inshallah, we'll be going to a break shortly, and then we will come back, inshallah ta'ala, to carry on.
This is a new generation. If they're going to draft these young black men and send them over to Korea or South Vietnam to face 800 million Chinese.
جئت بالأمر المطاع جئت شرفت المدينة طلع البدر علينا من ثنيات الوداع.
This is a new generation. If they're going to draft these young black men and send them over to Korea or South Vietnam to face 800 million Chinese.
أيها المبعوث فينا جئت بالأمر المطاع جئت شرفت المدينة طلع البدر علينا من ثنيات الوداع.
This is a new generation.
Okay, welcome back, viewers, and this is the program, The Winning Goal, on Horn Cable TV. We're here live in London, and this program really is aimed at understanding what is the importance of the winning goal. It's a program in English for the youth who, inshallah, trying to focus about what it really means to be a Muslim and how we can achieve success and winning through our day-to-day life. Now, we've had a few callers who there's problems with the line, but we have some questions which have been sent through as well. One of the questions is, what will you advise the youth in Somaliland who do not practice their religion? Obviously, as I said before, when we are as Muslims, whether you are youth, whether you're old, everything, we talk about success, we're talking about winning, we're talking about achieving the goal. And I think wherever you are, whether you're in Britain, whether you're in Somaliland, whether you're in Saudi, wherever you are in the world, you have to always think that, who are you? Where are you going? Who is your, why are you here? What is your essence? And if we as Muslims understand that we have a creator, the one God, and we know that He created us, then we have to submit to Him. We have to bow down to Him, because it's only through this that we can achieve the success. So inshallah, we have another caller online. Yes, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Ujama.
Okay, welcome. Where are you calling from? Hello?
Hi, excuse me. I wanted you to explain more about what you were talking about.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I'm from London.
Okay, you're welcome. Yes, Alan Salam from London. What would you like to say? Or what is your question?
I just want to ask, for him to explain more what he's talking about.
You wanted to ask about?
Pardon?
What did you want to ask?
For him to explain more about what he's talking about, what his meaning is in the winning goal. Can he explain more?
Yes, okay, yes, inshallah. Thank you. Well, I mean, the whole program is explaining the issue of the winning goal, which is really about what we're talking about here is how can the Muslim win? How can he win in this life and in the next life? Because everybody in this life, as I mentioned before, is competing. So it's really how before, and inshallah through this series of programs that we have, inshallah weekly, we will try to discuss what are the main issues that helps a person become that better person to win. I was just answering a question about how does a person be better in terms of their, in terms of the youth. It's very important. If you know that Allah exists, and more so if you are living in an environment where there's Islam all around you, there's masajid, there's people who are, everything is looking, you have a bigger responsibility of really, being a better Muslim. So if you're in a Muslim country, then you should really, that should give you that promotion, that push to be that better person, inshallah. I have another question which is saying, what is the best way to memorize the Quran? Essentially, I think one of the most important ways in memorizing the Quran is to have a teacher. Because if you have a teacher who teaches you Quran and follows you up, then you will be able to always follow the teacher, inshallah. So I think that's an important part. If you can't find the teacher, an ustadh, a sheikh who will teach you the Quran, then you will be able to follow up, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, we have another call. Yes, salamu alaikum. Salamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes.
My name is Bashir Osman. I'm calling from London.
Okay, mashallah. What is your question, akhi, or your comment?
Yes, I had a question. During your commercial, it showed a picture of Malcolm X as one of your representatives. And in my studies, I've seen that he is a part of the Nation of Islam, not Islam itself. What differences are there between Islam and the Nation of Islam?
Okay, that's a good question. Jazakallah khair. Inshallah, we will answer that. Although, I mean, Malcolm X initially was part of the Nation of Islam, and basically the Nation of Islam was more of a sort of like a race-based type of Islam, where they believe that that it was Islam is specifically for the black people, and there was an issue of racism there in the ideas of Nation of Islam, in addition to much more bigger issues of who they believed God was and who the Prophet Muhammad was, and so on, which I won't go into detail. But basically Malcolm X belonged to this group. But then when he went to Hajj and he saw the different types of people there, he even mentions that he sat in the same place and was eating with people of different races, different colors, he managed to actually, he changed his reality, he changed his ideas, because he understood that Islam is not just cannot be for one race, it cannot be for one country or for one language, rather it is diverse. So he started off being in the Nation of Islam, but then alhamdulillah he changed to understand that Islam is not specific for one race, and obviously going back to the traditions of the Quran and the Sunnah, which are the basis for where we base our deen. We have another caller online, and that kind is gone. So going back just to the question of how can a person memorize Quran, so we said that it's important for a person to have a teacher, because I think with a teacher you can easily learn Quran. Another question we have, which is, apparently I've been told that it mentions that you cannot sell the Quran. Can you confirm whether this is true or false? And it's traditionally okay, all right, okay. So we do have a caller. Inshallah, we'll come back to this question again. Yes, assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum. Hello? Okay, we're just waiting for this caller.
السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
مرحبا أخي.
أهلا وسهلا أهلا وسهلا.
ممكن أتكلم مع دكتور؟
Yeah, تفضل تفضل. You can ask the question. تفضل.
I speak Arabic. My question will be can I write in Arabic language?
Okay, I will translate it inshallah.
All right, inshallah. جزاك الله خير. I'm now. Can I speak now?
Yeah, تفضل. Come on, yes, you're live on air.
All right. السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
اولا اخي دكتور عمر جزاك الله خير حقيقه هذا البرنامج الجميل الذي حقيقه يعني نحن استفدناها وكنا جالسين هنا مع اولادي
وجزاك
وبصراحه يعني كان درس يعني ملخص ويضع يعني في البوصله بجهه محدده وهو يعني ان يكون لهم هدف يعني
نعم.
سواء هدف دنيوي او هدف يعني في يخص الاخره.
نعم.
وأنا حقيقة الذي أريد أن أقول يعني أن نشجع يعني ونطلب يعني حقيقة باستمرار هذا البرنامج وإذا كان يعني بإمكانكم أن تضعوا مثلا في الويب سايت سواء في الويب سايت بتاع الرابطة أو في أي ويب سايت آخر يعني
إن شاء الله.
هذا البرنامج وجزاكم الله خير يعني.
وجزاك بارك الله فيك. Thank you very much. جزاك الله خير. Our respected brother was saying that first of all, he was happy with this program and he thought that was a great program to have this kind of program which actually gives a little bit of direction to the youth. And also he's saying that maybe these programs can become regular. Inshallah, this program will be inshallah be on weekly, this sort of time on a Wednesday. And also that inshallah through the different websites this kind of information will also be available. So yes, Jazakumullah khairan, thank you for your kind comments. We have another call, yes. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. What's your name and where are you phoning from?
My name is Abdurrahman and I'm calling from London.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum, Abdurrahman.
Yes.
What is your question or comment?
My question is, my mother wanted to ask you that what should she do if she has a 19-year-old son which does not obey her and just goes out every night and comes back like late and hasn't really got any future goals.
Yes, okay. Jazakallah khair. Barakallah fiqh. So yeah, I think this is a very important question because I think it already goes back to the point that I was speaking about before, which is having a focus in a person's life. And obviously when you are at this sort of age, we all know in all cultures the sort of the teenage time is a time where teenagers may rebel against their parents or maybe not want to be obedient to their parents, and I think it's very important to understand this very important point that in this country, like in the UK, may be different. The attitude of how you deal with people will be different from the dealing with for example, when you're in a different country, in a country like where you have the bigger family, the society is different. Because here sometimes a lot of us come here as parents, it's just the father, mother and the children. There's no, the grandparents are not there, the uncles, the aunties. So you have to deal with the children differently. And that's why I think my advice to a sister in dealing with her son is try to really win the son over, because you have to speak to a person's mind and their heart. When you try to enforce, you must do this, you must not do that, it's difficult. It's different when you have, maybe sometimes your husband might not be there or the father of the child is not there. It might be that in some cases there's no wider family, the society doesn't help you, and if we actually carry on trying to be, if you try to force a child to do something, it might not work. So you have to really try to talk to them, sit them down, have a really heart to heart, say, look, I'm your mother, I want the best for you, what are you doing, this is not good for you, and trying to really appeal to their emotions, insha'Allah ta'ala. Okay, we have another caller online.
Hello?
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Is this Asma?
Yes.
Yes, assalamu alaikum. What is your question or comment?
Is it true if you make a non-believer a Muslim, do you get a good deed for that?
Okay, Jazakallah khair for the question. So Asma is saying, if you ask if somebody who is not a Muslim or not a believer and becomes a Muslim, will you get good deed? And the answer is really, I mean, the Islam is such a beautiful present, it's such a beautiful reality, because it's about connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's about knowing who your creator is. It's about knowing how to be a better person. So when you be able to give that present to someone, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards you, because Allah's mercy is there. He wants people to believe in Him. And the more people believe in Him, the better for them. And that's why Allah says, مَا يَفْعَلُ اللَّهُ بِعَذَابِكُمْ إِن شَكَرْتُمْ وَآمَنْتُمْ. What will Allah do? Why would Allah want to punish you if you believe and you are grateful? So if you can tell people about Islam and give them Islam, give them this package, and they want to become Muslims, then you will have, as the Prophet ﷺ said, you will have the same reward of that person. So instead of you getting all your own actions, you will be getting the actions of that person who becomes Muslim as well. So it's a great opportunity to try and give. And then we have to understand that as Muslims, our mission really, Muslims are not there to spill blood or to kill people or to do destruction. We are here to spread peace. We are here to give salam, afshu salam. We are here to give the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And rahmah from the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which He sent down the Prophet. He sent the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ, to save people from Allah's punishment through this. So yes, it's a great opportunity if a person, you guide someone to Islam. We have another caller online. Yes, Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, what is your question or comment?
Hello, I'm Robert Afra. I'm
Yes.
calling from Greater Manchester, and I want to ask a question.
Yes, please ask the question. You're live on air.
How do you win your goal? If you got a dream, how do you win it?
If you have a dream,
Yeah.
how do you achieve?
How do you make it?
How do you achieve your dream? MashaAllah, that's a very good question. And in fact, that question is probably the very important question, and probably that's going to be our last question because we're running out of time now. But this question, I think, which is such a fundamental question, such an important question in our topic here, is if you have a dream or you have a goal, how do you go about winning that goal? And really, inshallah, through the coming weeks, we will be talking about this in more detail. But really, it's focused on first things. First of all, you have to try and have that goal and have that dream and make it something which is real. Try to aim for something which is real, something which is achievable. You could, I don't know, some people might have a dream of, they want to become millionaires, or they want to have a big, 10-bedroom house, or they want to have the big, Ferrari car. That might be not realistic. Try and have something which is realistic, something that you can reach. So that could be your stepping stone. Secondly, when you have that, you have to be persistent. You have to be carrying on, trying to have that dream, achieve that dream. So carry on going after your dream. Don't give up. Persistence. And thirdly, you have to have the sacrifice. You have to be ready to sacrifice your luxuries. And that's why, in Arabic they say, Man talab al-ula sahara al-layali, whoever seeks the highest levels, he will stay awake at night. People who want to pass their exams, they have to stay awake at night revising. If you want to win in the sport, you have to lose weight. You can't be, eating, stuffing your face with, cakes and chocolates and things like that. You have to lose weight, for example, if you want to win. So anytime there comes a passion, you have to be ready to persist, keep on going, and you have to be ready to sacrifice your luxuries, your times of rest, and so on. And that's why the people who really are looking for the goal in the akhirah, wanting to achieve al-Jannah, wanting Allah to be pleased with them, they very rarely sleep. They can't sleep because they are always willing to go to the end, inshallah. So respected brothers and sisters, respected viewers, we come to an end of this show today, which is the winning goal, in which we try to highlight just an introduction about what we mean by the winning goal. And inshallah, in the consecutive weeks, every Wednesday at 8 o'clock, inshallah, we'll be here to address this topic, and we're looking forward to, inshallah, receiving your participation next week. From me, Umar Al-Hamdoon, I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.